Where is your sword?
Don't need it.
This is a line from Villain Saga, and it's said by a character named Thors, easily the strongest of the series, and also the father of the protagonist, Thorfinn. And he used to be a warrior who was respected for his strength, until one day he realized just how destructive that life was and walked away. He dropped the sword and chose a better path. And that's most of the context behind that scene.
The reason I rely on a weapon like this is because I'm weak. One who's a great warrior doesn't need a sword.
When he says he doesn't need a sword, it makes a lot more sense when you understand what the sword represents. It's not just a weapon, but a mentality. It's a way of living when governed by human nature. It symbolizes sin and temptation, the pull towards the easy, impulsive reaction when faced with someone provoking you, mocking you, or stirring trouble just for the sake of it. When someone challenges us, we immediately want to fight back. Social media thrives on it, and divisions feed off it. The sword becomes a representation for how easily our corrupted nature responds to the world when driven by sin. So when Thor rejects the sword, he's rejecting that entire way of living. He's rejecting the cycle of hate that controls the world. His decision emphasizes the importance of avoiding toxicity and hate, to instead pursue righteousness, love, and peace. Thor isn't saying you don't defend yourself, he's saying you don't let violence govern you. You don't let the world pull you into conflict or foolish arguments. When he says a true warrior doesn't need a sword, he's basically saying you don't have to live with that mentality, to not be controlled by resentment. Anyone can lose themselves to anger and hate, but refusing it and instead choosing patience and understanding is rare. That's why Thorfinn becomes so compelling when he adopts his father's mentality. He still fights when he needs to, and he still moves through the world with purpose, but he isn't controlled by the sword. He lives with a type of strength that makes everyone around him better. Almost everyone carries this mindset without realizing it. Human nature pushes you to retaliate, to lash out, or to prove yourself. The world encourages it. It's natural, but it's destructive. People justify their anger as standing up for themselves. People don't just react, they also try to justify their reactions and feel entitled to defend their pride or label. It's so common today, and the world feeds off it. You see it everywhere. People tearing each other down over the smallest things, lashing out over words or opinions, and then justifying it as normal or saying that they're right. It's everywhere because it's fed by sin, by our corrupted nature, and the world only reinforces it to make you feel like you must respond. People fall for the trap because everyone else is doing it. This is especially true with criticism. The first thing we want to do when someone makes a mistake or says something we disagree with is to tear them down. The sword is that impulse to be harsh instead of patient, to destroy rather than build. Most people never question it, they keep fighting, letting pride, anger, and fear lead them. That's the problem Thor is pointing at. The sword doesn't just exist in a physical sense. It exists in how we live, in how we treat others, and in the way the world tempts us to sin. By refusing the sword, you're choosing not to be a slave to the world. You're rejecting the need to retaliate or letting your ego dictate your actions. You can refuse to let insults, anger, or fear drive your decisions. You can pause, listen, and act with clarity. That's the strength Thor is teaching. To flee from the chains everyone is controlled by, and by refusing the sword, even when it feels like the natural choice. In today's world, it could look like stepping into conflict to calm it, not escalate it. Guiding and caring for someone who's lost without shaming them. Refusing to fall for the bait or refusing to prove your point at the cost of someone else. It's living in a way that protects the weak, calls out wrongdoing, but doesn't fall into hate. It's stepping in to help someone instead of mocking them, protecting those who can't protect themselves. It's choosing the hard path because it actually matters. So when Thor says he doesn't need a sword, he's not talking about just the weapon. He's talking about refusing to live under hate, resentment, and the pull of sin. He's shown that you can move through the world without being controlled by anger. That's why it matters. Choosing that path protects others, builds peace, and shapes the kind of life worth living. I hope this video helps, and thanks for watching.